You would have seen the title of this video that reads Toxic Stoic Traits. You may be wondering what that even means. Well, to you, these traits we're about to discuss might seem all well and good, but look at it from society's point of view that loves to complain and become the victim at every turn. In fact, I was thinking about this just the other day. Our society has taken a total flip. Whatever is virtuous and right, they call it evil. Yet, what is destructive to your being, they uphold it as some type of heaven sent gift. For example, people now are so used to eating junk food that the moment you choose to start eating clean, it's called dieting. Just think about this one simple example. Eating clean was meant to be our default setting. It was what we were designed for, not to gulp down sugar or lab made products. But the default setting is now treated as something totally different that only dieters do. Just think about how much more society has got it all wrong. Coming back to the original point, Stoicism is all about staying grounded. The only way to do that is by taking responsibility and holding your own self accountable. I will say it again. It begins by holding your own self accountable. With that said, what are the five Stoic truths that every man needs to adopt and practice in today's day and age? Number one, build internal locus of control. As I said before, our society has surrendered to the god of comfort and urges. The idea of controlling your own self is nothing but a toxic trait for them. Think about the life of an average man. He goes to work at 9, comes home by 6 or 7, and binge watches Netflix for 3 or 4 hours. But hey, that's not enough. Now it's time to binge watch pornography and spill out the little energy you may have left inside you. Then get in bed and spend another 2 or 3 hours on the phone mindlessly scrolling, with only 3 hours left on the alarm clock until you finally have to get up and repeat the depressing cycle. Now answer me this. With a schedule routine like this, why wouldn't you feel stuck in life? Why wouldn't you call yourself depressed? The moment the so called elites come out with a pill, you would be the first to accept it, because now you are surviving on treatments with no intention of getting the cure. As a man, you need your life precisely dictated and mapped out to the spec. Without self control, you're a mere puppet who can be trolled by his situations, girlfriend, family, strangers, and elites. Listen to this quote and memorize it by heart. A person without self control is like a city with broken down walls, a mere defenseless city, because its guard failed to protect it. Remember, it's easy to become irritated. It's easy to just sit down and watch pornography and spill out your seed every night. It's easy to scroll mindlessly. But it's the uncomfortable that you need to cherish. The first few days when you decide to cherish the uncomfortable, you will hate every second of it. But keep at it. Give it 2 weeks or even a month until your self control muscles really strengthen up. You will reach a point where waking up at 5 a.m. just becomes a habit. For everyone, their routine will be different, but establish your own controlled routine that is governed by virtuous boundaries, and don't let society make you believe otherwise. Number two, manage your time. The Stoics recognized that time is our most valuable resource. Time can never be retrieved, unlike any of our tangible belongings. There's a saying that you can buy a book, but you can't buy wisdom. You can buy a house, but not a home. You can buy a clock, but not time, and rightly so. I'm going to say something that is so true, yet we pay no attention to it. Listen closely. You only live once. We've heard this phrase so much that we tend to completely overlook what it means. You may have seen photos of the monk holding a skull in his hand while he looks at it. You may ask, why would the monk hold such a disgusting thing and look into it? Well, because he knows that skull will be him one day. So waste no more time in arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Talk less and perform more. Time is of the essence, irrespective of which end of the spectrum we're on. Even though you may be brainwashed into thinking you have a lot of time, you don't. Just look back over your life. Let's say you're 25 years of age. Take a look back. Does it feel like it's been 25 years? The answer is most likely no. Regardless of how old we get, when we decide to look back on our life, It feels as though everything happened in a snap. In the same way you looked back over your life, I want you to look now forward into the future and remember that it too will pass in a snap. So use it to the fullest. Number 3, do not subcontract your happiness. In the past, getting the wrong idea from our tribe and social group may have had dire consequences. It would have resulted in banishment and ultimately death in the wilderness. That theory, however, doesn't apply to you now. Of course, don't go out of your way to make someone upset, but don't be too bound on keeping them happy because your survival doesn't depend on it anymore. To impress someone you don't care about, you might spend money you don't have on expensive things that you don't need. And this is why many stay stuck in their rut. Instead of focusing on what is best for you, we often choose careers or lifestyles based on how others view us. Every day, we're held captive and forced to pay a king's ransom with no assurance that we will ever be set free. Number 4, when faced with distractions, maintain focus. There are many possibilities available to us thanks to the modern lifestyle. You have been blessed with more options than your forefathers, whether it be food, vacation, or entertainment. But as the saying goes, sometimes the blessing can also be a curse when you flip the coin. We become paralyzed by indecision when faced with so many possibilities. This is what you call the dilemma of choice. Our minds are bombarded by so much knowledge because they can't keep up with modern advancements. In fact, if you look at prison inmates, many of them have no choice as to the types of product they can use in prison. For example, they have to eat the same type of food, use the one same soap. Because of these limited options, they get so used to not having to make decisions. According to many prison inmates, when they come out of prison and go to a grocery store, they get confused to what they should buy because each product has its own different types that you can choose from. The same is true with our lives. The dilemma of choice is one of the main issues we deal with daily. We never wholly commit to a road because there are so many possibilities. Either we delay making a choice or engage in several endeavors simultaneously. As a Stoic man, you need focused, deliberate action without changing course. Stick to your plan. Remember, the man who chases two rabbits catches neither. And finally, number 5, stand your ground. Being able to compromise with others on certain things is definitely a strength, but don't let society fool you into thinking that you should tolerate and compromise on everything. For remember, if you tolerate everything, then you stand for nothing. Listen to that again. If you tolerate everything, then you stand for nothing. The virtuous boundaries you have set for yourself should never be moved, not even by an inch. So remember, brothers, your success begins with you. Our society today worships the god of lust, lack of self control, comfort, and degeneracy. Resist the urge to be part of them. By the way, don't forget to show some love. Tap that subscribe button and hit like for the algorithm. To see the next best way to level up as a man, watch these videos here.